Welcome back to another Champion Deep Dive, and today we're talking about Spider-Man 2099. He's a non-buff gaining, debuff pausing, answer to ability power gain with new mechanics and a new debuff. Let's get into it. Spider-Man 2099 joins the contest with an always active ability, where he cannot gain buffs. However, if he would gain a buff, he instead pauses his personal debuffs for 5 seconds. This includes personal debuffs applied after the pause. However, keep in mind, his personal stuns are not paused with this ability. Now, while dodging backwards, Spider-Man 2099 is not struck by attacks. Dodging an attack in this way triggers his debuff pausing ability, meaning this ability can trigger without the dexterity mastery. Also, he gains 75% damage resistance if the opponent is under the effects of a true strike or if the hit deals true damage. Now, Spider-Man 2099's light and medium attacks have a 25% chance to inflict rupture, dealing physical damage over 10 seconds. However, the chance is increased to 100% on block if the opponent is suffering from a wither debuff. But more on that in just a little bit. Now, an opponent takes a burst of physical damage for each rupture on them if they reach 0 power or when they gain a bar of power. Once this takes place, ruptures are consumed. With heavy attacks, Spider-Man 2099 inflicts an exhaustion debuff, decreasing the opponent's critical damage rating. It also reduces the potency of opponent ability power gain effects by 15% for 15 seconds, maxing out at 5 stacks for up to 75% ability power gain reduction. He also has resistance up, so when attacked, there's a 100% chance to gain an indefinite resistance up passive, increasing both physical and energy resistance. If Spider-Man 2099 is interrupted while he's charging a heavy attack, this removes all stacks of resistance up. Now, if at least 20 stacks were removed in this way, he inflicts a wither debuff, reducing ability power rate by 150% for 20 seconds. Now, while he's pausing personal debuffs, he consumes 5 stacks of resistance up and increases the pause duration from 5 to 10 seconds, giving you more time to damage with your current and future ruptures, as well as keeping your unique debuffs in place for as long as possible. Also, this ability has a cooldown of 10 seconds. Now, let's check out his special attacks. The Special 1. The last 3 hits have 100% chance to inflict a physical vulnerability debuff, decreasing physical resistance for 15 seconds. On activation, gain 15 stacks of resistance up passive. This is going to be your main avenue for resistance up and extended debuff pausing. With the Special 2, on activation, inflict a wither debuff, reducing ability power rate by 125% for 15 seconds, with a max of 5 stacks, putting an opponent with ability power gain into negative power gain with a single stack. Also, each hit of the Special 2 deals a burst of physical damage per unique debuff on the opponent. This is your damage center, and you're going to want to take advantage of all the debuffs Spider-Man 2099 can place. Speaking of which, the Special 3. Spider-Man 2099 inflicts a stun debuff for 4 seconds. He also inflicts a slow debuff lasting 25 seconds, reducing unstoppable and evadability accuracy by 100%. Keep in mind, slow doesn't work against natural class advantage. Now, one very important part of the slow on Spider-Man 2099 is that it counts as 4 unique debuffs, giving your Special 2 a boost in damage output. Now, let's check out the signature ability. When awakened, Spider-Man 2099 gains persistent ruptures. This is a passive ability, where ruptures have an up to 80% chance to not be consumed when a burst of physical damage triggers. Also, he gains an up to 25% combat power rate while the opponent is affected by a Wither debuff, helping you get back to your special attacks sooner. Now, let's take him for a spin in the champion rotation. For a damage focus, start off with a heavy attack to inflict an exhaustion debuff. Then, push 2 and launch a special 1 to gain the resistance up passive. This gives you the fuel to extend your debuff pausing. Then, build up to your special 3, making sure you leave enough resistance up charges to gain an extended debuff pause and dodge an attack. Immediately, launch your special 3 to gain that slow debuff worth 4 unique debuffs. But you'll find that the slow is now paused for 10 seconds before the timer even starts, along with all your other debuffs. Now, build up to the special 2 while continuing to dodge and keep your debuffs paused, and then launch it, taking advantage of all those unique debuffs to feed your special 2's damage. From there, rinse and repeat with the special 1 to gain resistance up passives, and then use them to extend debuffs while working to your special 2. Further, once you've placed that Wither debuff, attack into the opponent's block to stack on ruptures, and continue to attack the opponent to take advantage of increased power gain, but also to rupture burst the opponent by pushing them beyond a bar of power. Now, if you're going up against an ability power gain champ or node, Wither is a formidable debuff to go up against, but make sure to take advantage of your exhaustion debuffs to help you get there, holding off that power gain just enough until you can bring in the mother load of ability power gain reduction with the Wither debuff on the special 2. Once you've done that, sprinkle in the special 1 to gain access to your resistance up passive stacks and extended debuff pausing, all while stacking on ruptures by hitting into the opponent's block and letting their power bar reach 0 to burst those ruptures. Now, let's check out some best uses. Not only does Spider-Man 2099 shine against champions with ability power rate gains, but also nodes that provide power gain, like Strike Back, where instead of the opponent gaining a bar of power when you launch a special, Wither and Exhaustion together are now power draining the opponent. Similarly, when the timer's up, Supercharged becomes Super Drained. Easy access to inflicting multiple debuffs make him a counter to distract nodes. Also, with the Despair Mastery, you can reduce the opponent's healing depending on how many debuffs you can stack and keep on. Due to his ability to not gain buffs, he's a prime candidate to take on nullification champs, but also nodes that punish the attacker, like Buffet, or Spite, for example. Of course, there are more than just these suggestions. If you're already theory crafting, drop those in the comments below and let's discuss. Now, let's check out some notable synergies. Co-workers. With Sabretooth, Longshot, or Psylocke on the team, Spider-Man 2099 gains 85 critical rating per unique debuff on the opponent, helping you give those yellow numbers a little more of a consistent showing. With Sabretooth, blocking an attack has a 10% chance to grant a regeneration passive that heals 25% of the damage taken from the block over 25 seconds. However, with a maxed out signature ability, Sabretooth increases this chance to 100%. With Longshot, when he nullifies a regeneration buff, he gains a regeneration buff of his own, healing 5% of base health over 10 seconds. And for Psylocke, while attacking an opponent with 0 power, she reduces their defensive ability accuracy by 50%. AI Enthusiast. With Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, Scarlet Witch Classic, or Iron Man on the team, Spider-Man 2099's second medium attack has a 25% chance to trigger his debuff pausing ability, giving you more access to increasing the duration of those debuffs outside of dodging. With Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, on a well-timed block, he gains a 33% chance to gain a Bulwark passive, granting 700 block proficiency for 10 seconds. With Scarlet Witch Classic, when granting a buff on herself, she gains 15% of bar of power over 3 seconds. And for Iron Man, his heavy attack inflicts a power drain, removing 50% of the opponent's current power over 5 seconds. This ability has a 20-second cooldown. Symbiote problems. With Venom or Carnage on the team, Spider-Man 2099 Special Attack 3 inflicts a poison debuff, dealing 85% of attack and direct damage over 25 seconds. Not only is poison a great way to reduce healing, but this gives you another unique debuff to juice up your Special 2's damage. With Venom, on a heavy attack, he gains an aptitude buff, increasing the effect of Fury, Armor, and Precision buffs by 50% for 10 seconds. Making for some juicy numbers, this ability has a 10-second cooldown. And Carnage gains 25% increased attack rating on unblockable specials. Spider-Verse Veterans. With Spider-Man, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Spider-Ham, or Spider-Gwen on the team, Spider-Man 2099 gains a 100% chance to evade the first time he is struck in a fight. For the rest of the Synergy members, they gain an unstoppable passive for 1 second after an evade triggers. This effect has a 9-second cooldown. Now, did you see a Synergy that sparked your interest? Thinking of a new Synergy team? Let us know your thoughts below and let's discuss. Thank you for watching this champion deep dive for Spider-Man 2099. Are you ready? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and if you liked the video and want to see more, click subscribe, like, comment, and share. And remember, we'll see you in the Battle Realm.